Now, if you've been to Home Affairs lately, you would have been as pleasantly surprised as I was to discover that there has certainly been a dramatic turnaround in the efficiency of their operations. But they are still plagued by people both within and outside the system who engage in ID fraud. We turned our hidden cameras on these scams. We started off at Randburg Home Affairs in Johannesburg. Outside, we met up with Comfort, who knew exactly how to go about getting your ID. But his contact in Pretoria could only help out the following week.
We am telling you if today I run out, but within a week, or maybe like next week before, that's start. Also, we say I'm not. At me, I'm going to get into Zaki. I was with Messiah and the way I'm
He told us to come back the following day with 500 rand. When we returned, Comfort wasn't there. So we approached the many freelance photographers who stand outside Home Affairs offices. One of them confirmed that Comfort was indeed the middleman who could get IDs through his contact at Home Affairs in Pretoria.
Yeah, the nepe dia batla la tlameno tlatse for new information mabitso a batlang kaofela. So ke shoot at me. So le ba delete sharp ba bona. Oh yeah. Ba confirm or I spam. A bona bana lo bo ma John tholo I mean, back in H, I can take double N. I don't know anything about it. So, well, it's better otherwise, Viking, but in China, it is. The alphabet, the guardian number. For population, it didn't say, well, under population, my details. So, I think I'm manga. That's another time, I'm saying. Make it 2007. You think I'm an 7 the most manga. Especially if you want to go to Swaziland, I can't fit out what I did. What are your passport? Passport house out.
Someone drowning in debt might resort to such measures. Fill in the forms with a few new details, and off your contact goes to Home Affairs in Pretoria.
Then I'm going to have past 12 or lunch. We are going to show you. Oh, and then I go show you. Over there for this after 1 hour, 2 hours, so go to high. System say the sharp, the sharp. Motor to the
We showed what you've just seen to the Director General of Home Affairs, Mkuseli Apleni. I asked him how the new smart card ID, which is still to be implemented, will help stop identity fraud.
The card in it has got a chip, and that chip is a contactless card, so that chip is not running over the card, so nobody is going to be able to see that chip. Secondly, that card is now verifiable. It will be able to keep your fingerprint inside the card. And secondly, the photo which would be in the card is not going to be pasted, because the one of the ID is pasted. That one will be taking it on a live capture system, no human intervention, and then it's going to be part of that card. So you cannot be able to remove that photo from the card.
So there's no physical, those days of going and those people who sit outside and they take the photo, those are over?
No more. That will go in front of the Office of Home Affairs and get people are taking pictures, because that will be taken now electronically within the system. Now, what is going to be happening now, as you can see, what fraud is going into the economy of the country, whether it's an insurance industry, is a retail industry, everything, financial institutions. So they will need to have a gadget, which that gadget will be able to read that card. So once now I go in front of a teller or I go in front of a credit manager, will be able to say to the client, oh, there is a gadget, put your fingerprint. That fingerprint must read the same with the one in the card. If it cannot, then it will reject you and say, this card does not belong to you.
Okay, so the systems are in place to prevent that kind of fraud. You have one other problem though. You've got people inside Home Affairs who can bypass systems and commit fraud. And then you also have people outside the Home Affairs offices soliciting fraudulent business, and clearly they have contacts in Pretoria who are bypassing systems.
Well, we realized that. Then we implemented a system which we called Beckham. Hence now we're arresting a lot of people who are doing that internally. That system, it only uses a fingerprint to open that computer and you operate it. And immediately you leave out, it switches off. Whether you say I have to leave to go to the bathroom, somebody else have used my system, it is not. So we are able to know who have done that change. You can collude, is fine, but at the end we'll be able to know who has participated on that.
And the public, who are actually committing fraud by trying to get it through nefarious means. You know, they don't actually want to go through the system, and so use these kinds of systems to do it fraudulently.
Well, we need to still bring awareness to our citizens to say, to get into a bogus marriage, just to get whatever you are getting, but we are selling the citizenship of this country. And people need to understand that once you are a citizen, there are certain benefits which accrue to you as a citizen, starting from health, education, housing, all that. So by selling that citizenship, you are depriving South Africans to get the rights which they're supposed to be getting.
Now, the DG was unable to give us an exact time frame for the introduction of these new ID cards. Suffice to say that the Minister would be revealing details of the rollout soon. We'd still like to hear from you. You can fax us on 011-880-8883 or email us on thirddegree@etv.co.za. There's also Facebook and Twitter. Until next week then, goodbye from the Third Degree team.